Bit of Coldplay there, Christmas lights, keeping it a little bit Christmassy for you out there. Now, maybe you're decorating your tree. Maybe you're preparing some Christmas food for people coming round in a couple of days' time. It's only 2 days. How lovely is it to be here just before Christmas and saying goodbye to the new year. Actually, well, I'm going to be back before the new year comes in, so we'll be doing this all over again. So let's see, what have we got here? We're going to go to the news now, the weather, and just a couple of adverts as well. But we'll be back with you very soon. I'll be talking to Claira Lemel, who I'm having a wonderful conversation with all about vision boards. See you soon. And we're back in the studio. 1 more hour left before we have to stop for Christmas. But we have still got lots of lovely stuff to talk about. So Claira and I are talking about planning your decade ahead. Here comes 2020. Be ready. Now, we were talking about the vision boards and putting it out into a creative space in front of you. What about believing, because we were talking a little bit about that, the idea that once it's there in front of you, it helps you to believe in the ability to achieve things.
Yeah, I think so. It's like sometimes, I mean, we'll talk about things, or I'll come up with subjects to go on your vision board that you may not necessarily think needs looking at, for instance. And so again, it's about opening up and being honest with, actually, you know what, I would like to do these things for myself. And what is really important, it's about you. So we are always thinking about friends, family, you know, if we have children, you're worrying about them. And as women, we always put ourselves quite far down the sort of to-do list, or to think about what we need. And it's about allowing yourself to go, okay, that's all very lovely. You know, I've got friends and they need this, and I'm always helping and I'm always kind of putting myself out there. But what is it that I actually need? What is it that I want? And so sometimes we're not very good at that. We're not very good at sort of being honest about what you actually want.
Yeah.
And to listen to your inner voice and the kind of voice that says, you know what, I would like whatever that is. I maybe want to spend more time on my own. I maybe want to spend more time doing things that are good for me. And unfortunately, some people say, oh, you're being a bit selfish, a bit self-indulgent. It's about self-help. It's about that word self-help.
And self-care.
And self-care is a new buzzword. It's been knocking around for a few years now, but it's actually really important. Really, really important, because if you're functioning well, then that has a ripple effect on everyone else around you. So
I think the word selfish has been manipulated, actually.
Yeah.
Because we use it as a negative thing. To be selfish is a bad thing to be. But I agree with you. I think that it's okay to be selfish once in a while.
Yes.
Because all it means is that you're putting yourself first.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's fine. If you're not functioning well, that's just going to have an effect on everybody else around you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's about when we're creating our vision board, do you know what, it is a selfish thing to do, and why not? But it doesn't, your vision board could include, well, clearly, and is inevitably going to include the people closest to you in your life, because you're going to be thinking about, you're not just creating your world as an individual and forget everybody else, and they can get on and do their thing, but they will be part of your planning, if you like.
Yes.
I know that you have a family,
yes,
for example, so you're not going to be creating a vision board that doesn't consider the fact that they are there beside you as well.
Oh, I'm not thinking about them at all. It's all about me. No, I'm joking. Of course I think about them, and they are a big part of my life and my thoughts. But I think there's also parts of our times in our life that we come to kind of crossroads. Yeah. And when we get to a certain age, which I will be very honest and say I'm 53.
Yeah.
I was born in 66, marvellous year for football. And
and for Claira's.
Yeah, absolutely. And different decades bring different things, and different ages bring different challenges.
Yeah.
And I do intend to be as juvenile for as long as I can get away with it, really.
Good.
And to not take life too seriously, and to have some fun. My son is now 19, and he's amazing and brilliant and all those things. I'm extremely proud of him. He's a wonderful young man. But he's, moving into different directions, and that's his life, and that's how it should be. And I'm now thinking, right, okay, what about me?
Yeah,
What
quite
about
right,
me?
quite right. And I was talking to somebody the other day who is just a little bit older than us, but he was saying, I'm reflecting on my life and thinking, well, I'm heading towards the latter part of it, as the majority of my life is behind me.
Yeah.
But that's not. I think it depends how you perceive that as to whether or not it feels like a negative thing. In a positive way, I think that at our age, we've learned a lot. We're much more comfortable often with who we are as an individual and what it means to be me type thing.
Yes.
But also, I get frustrated by people who, or the idea that because we are beyond a certain age, that actually it's all downhill from here.
Oh, yes.
I do not believe that.
No, I don't, nor I.
No, there is so much that we can all do still with our lives.
Yes.
And like you say, you're going to be actually given more freedom.
Yes. And I'm going to grab it.
Yeah, exactly.
And in a good way, and be really excited about it. I mean, there's also, for a lot of people, it's that empty nest, and they feel very they're grieving. Bereft, because this change has happened. But it's all about mindset. You can also look at it the other way, going, actually, I've done a really good job. They're off doing their thing, and I'm going to have a great time and start having more time for things that I'd like to do, and to start nurturing myself without being selfish.
Yeah, and I think that's when you can look at your vision board and say, so what is it that I actually want to be doing here? What is it that I would like to do?
Yeah.
So if there's an opportunity like I had the other weekend, an empty weekend, and I was a little bit I was a bit depressed about that to begin with.
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, actually, where is that list of things I've always wanted to do?
Yes.
Can I do any of them this weekend? Yes, I can.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think it's also really important to try things. I had this thing that I was going to do flamenco. I love flamenco dancing. I love anything to do with Spain. Love flamenco dancing. Love the music. In fact, we had at my wedding a Gypsy Kings tribute band.
Oh, brilliant! I love Gypsy Kings.
Love Gypsy Kings. Love everything Spanish. And a couple of years ago, I did a flamenco class with my friend who I do monthly challenges with, and we really liked it. And I thought, right, do you know what? I'm going to go back to it. And then a flamenco class appeared in Chiltern Hills, Bucks Adult Learning next door to Chiltern Hills.
I've heard about that, yeah.
And I thought, that's it.
Is that with somebody called Lucia?
That's right. I thought, that's it. That's my message, to get on that track. Well, I went to a class, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
What did you like about it?
Well, the teacher was amazing. The music was amazing. Yeah. But I was just thinking, I just feel a bit sad, actually. I just look a bit ridiculous, because I'm not Spanish. I'm not very good at remembering moves. I will try, but actually, I had a good time. Nice little trial session, a little tryout, free taster. Love a free taster. But actually, I like watching it. I like listening to it, but I don't want to do it. But I tried it. Yeah. It's the thing about trying things.
Absolutely. I mean, I too would have a go at flamenco, and it's all a performance, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's very passionate.
Yeah, I went to Granada earlier in the year. I'd never been.
That's on my
before.
bucket list.
I did it. I did
Good
that.
Girl.
And I went with a friend, and we went to see a flamenco performance. It was very interesting because I didn't realise the history of it, and the whole the gypsy history, and the fact that it tells a story.
Yeah.
And it's also got three elements. So you've got the dancer, the guitarist, who's amazing, and the singer, who's the storyteller.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is a different elements, and they have to work really closely together. You see them looking at each other. Who's doing what? How's she dancing? Is she dancing faster? The guitarist is watching her and responding. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
That's incredible.
Anyway, I think we need to. We're talking about belief. So this is the song that I've chosen for this little bit of our conversation. The Monkees.
Yay!
Daydream Believer.
Love it. Love it.
A little bit of Monkees there. Everybody knows that one. What I like is to have, Claira, a combination of songs that you can dance to. I do like to think that people are dancing around the kitchen. Obviously, we're throwing in a few Christmassy songs, and that's not really dance around the kitchen stuff. So we're going to put some other ones in. But also ones that make you sing out loud because you know all the words and you don't know why. And I think that the Monkees is like that.
Yeah, lovely. Love it.
Good old classic, and we all sing along. Oh, yeah, right. I think we know the words. And in fact, the next song that we're going to play, which is one that you've chosen, I've just realised that I thought it was something else. But actually, when you see it written down, oh, I see, that's what it is.
This gets me dancing every time I hear it.
Okay, let's put it on now. We're going to put it on now.
Yeah.
Okay, this is Claire. Would you like to announce this?
This is "Groove Is in the Heart" by Delight, and it is funky.
It is funky, actually. I just have to say, actually, I thought it was Groovers in the Heart.
Have I said it wrong?
No, you said it right. It's
Groove is in the Heart.
Groove is in the Heart. So, as selected by Claira Lemel, my guest on the show today.
Get dancing.
Get dancing. That surprised me. Hello, who's that? So that's Groove is in the Heart by Delight. And that was Claira Lemel's choice. Claire is my guest today. In case you've just tuned in, we're talking all about how to plan the next decade in a creative way by putting it all on paper with lots of colourful pictures and words and whatever works for you, really. And Another way to sort of keep ourselves focused is about getting into good habits, isn't it?
Yeah, positive routines or positive habits, yeah.
So daily routines, you've just told me about one of yours, which I love.
Okay, so this is what I do with my students, but I had to sort of say, but I also do it myself. So I started doing it myself. Okay, we all have routines. We brush our teeth, hopefully, brush our hair, have our breakfast. That's what we do. We don't think about it, we just do it every day. So the idea of positive daily routines is to get something that's going to really help your mood, help yourself, help your development, help your happiness, help your mindset, that you incorporate it into your daily routine. So you just do it. So the way I did it, as an example, is that every day, without fail, before I go to sleep, I have my gratitude diary. And I think about the day, and I think of 3 things that I'm grateful for, and I write it down. And so now I've got shelves of gratitude diaries. And a gratitude diary is about thinking about the day. And some days, I have to say, it is really hard to think of 3 things to be grateful for when you've had a really, really difficult day. But it's really important that even in the most difficult day, you still find something that you are grateful for. So it can be, for instance, learning to speak would be one of the things on my gratitude. Okay, so just put my teeth back in. The thing about the gratitude diary is about the little things. So I can have a day where it's not been great, but I'm still grateful that I have a roof over my head. That's 1.
Yes.
I've got my health. That's 2. And 3, I had enough food in the fridge.
Yeah.
For some people, that's not going to happen because of the way things are. And so I'm grateful for all those things. Yeah. There'll be other days where I've just got so many gratitudes, it's coming off the page. Yeah. You know, someone I've bumped into in the high street and I've reconnected with them as a friend, or I get a phone call from someone I haven't heard for ages and really makes me happy. It's about starting to learn to look for things that make you happy.
Yeah. And that's about perspective, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So so that is what I have as an example of positive daily routine. The other thing that's on my vision board and really helps me is daily dancing.
Love daily dancing.
Daily dancing is very important. It is just about at some point in the day, preferably in the morning, if you have time. Well, no, you make the time, you find the time, get up 10 minutes earlier if you have to, and you put the radio on and you find a track that you really like, you find it's really uplifting, and you have a dance to it.
Yeah. Really love that. Do you know, funnily enough, I've just bought my sister-in-law for Christmas a gratitude book.
Oh, nice.
So it's a really slim book, but so something you can shove in your handbag, and you just note your gratitudes in it. Do you know, it's interesting because I like that idea better than the idea of doing a daily journal.
Yes.
Because a daily journal you can fill with a whole load of negative stuff.
Yes.
Which can, just get you to dive back into the rubbish day that you've just had, or the misery that you're feeling about a friendship or a relationship or something. Whereas a daily gratitude it takes you away from that sort of stuff, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's not dwelling on the negativity. Things have happened that are out of your hands sometimes. Yeah. But it's about kind of changing the mindset, looking for 3 things or 4 things sometimes that you have found that was really positive, even in a very dark day. And by doing it, it actually helps you. Yeah. It's about mindset, changing your mindset. One of the things I really like to do when I finished a gratitude diary or a gratitude book is looking back.
Yes.
And it'll all be positive things.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Of course it will. Of course it will. And, it can remind you of sometimes the things that you might ordinarily have overlooked at another time during the day or another time during the year even. Yeah. Do you know, a friend of mine is... I drive him mad because I'm always focusing on the positive, and I try to turn things around into a positive. He likes to analyse and go into the darkness and look at the shadow world, And he always tries to drag me in there, like Darth Vader. Darkness, come to the dark side. Yes, come to the darkness for a little while. And I'm always resisting.
Yeah, of course, and I understand that. I mean, you've got to acknowledge it as there is dark stuff, and there are dark days, of course, and things happen, but it's just not dwelling on it too much.
Do you know, I'm just going to say that Claira is a very expressive person. She has all these beautiful rings on. If you're hearing tinkling sounds every now and then,
might be really noisy.
No, it's lovely. I love it. It's not jingle bells in the background. It's her hands waving about and her rings clashing together. And if you hear a little bit of a boof every now and then, it's Claira's hand colliding with the microphone, and then sometimes doing a little bit of drumming on the desk as well. So just so you understand that she's a very expressive person, a little bit of Italian in her there, I think. So, what else can we do then once we've worked out the things that we want to do?
Yeah,
and then daily routines is a great way of staying upbeat and focused, and staying positive.
Yeah.
What else can we do to maintain the focus and willpower, actually, to achieve the things that we've got on our vision board?
One of the things is also really useful is to find someone to do this with.
Oh, okay.
So, if, for instance, you want to join a club, you want to do something, I don't know, as an example, like an art class or something, to keep going to that, you're more likely to if you go with someone else, because you can encourage each other to do that. And I think that's often helpful, and you also and share the enjoyment of it.
Yeah.
And I hope you don't mind me saying, but I don't do this thing with a really good friend of mine. We're called the Challenge Sisters.
Oh yeah, I love that.
And what we do is monthly challenges, and so by doing that, we have had some really fun times and experience of really funny situations. So what we do is each month we'll say, right, okay, next month we're going to do a fencing taster. So we're going to learn to do fencing.
Yeah.
Or we've gone to, we went to, a few years ago, we went to a burlesque class. It was a taster. Cool. Don't worry, we didn't take our kit off. But it was just so much fun. And so while doing it together, we have experienced all sorts of great fun things.
And it must be so much fun, such a laugh.
We do have a really good laugh, really good. And we've got I think we've got a blog, actually. We have got a blog called challengeyoursister.wordpress.com. And on it, we've got all our adventures and what we've been up to. But one of the things that we got from this is telling other people to do it.
Yeah.
And other people we know have gone on and done it. So it's finding someone you get on really, really well with. That's quite a similar mindset.
Yeah.
And you then go and try things each month because you're more likely to if you've got someone going, right, this month we're doing this, and you go and do it.
Yeah. Love that idea. And it also ensures that you're having fun.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes, we can just get totally absorbed with got to go to work, got to do the daily stuff like going to the supermarket, the real sort of domestic routine stuff. And I haven't once in a while thought, when was the last time I really, really laughed?
Yes. Oh, so important.
Yeah. And if you can't remember the last time you really, really laughed, then that is something to look at, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. And maybe this is a way to do it. Get together with a friend and go and do something fun. Or maybe go to the Chesham Comedy Club, which is on at the end of every month and is always a laugh. Look, I've just realised we've been rattling on for so long that I haven't put the ads on yet. Whoops. So I'm going to start, though, with we're going to go to Dance Around the Kitchen, into ads, back to Amy and Claira talking about positive things on Chiltern Voice. Aren't you lucky?
Whoop, whoop.
Here we go. So this one is, play that funky music.
Amy Deane on Chiltern Voice.
So Claira, if we are looking at what our next year, what our next decade is going to look at, how do we, because it's not just about one major goal, is it?
Yeah.
How do we sort of look at the different areas of our life perhaps, or focus in on which areas we want to work on?
It's about really breaking it down. So, of course, you can have the big, broad subjects of career or exercise or travel, perhaps. But then it's really breaking it down to smaller subjects. And it could be, for instance, family. And, is that working for you? Are you spending too much time, not enough time? So that in itself is a whole section. It can be about, are you connecting with the right people?
Yeah.
Because we can all have patterns where we are connecting maybe with toxic people that are no good for us.
Yeah.
And being really honest about actually what is it actually doing for you if you're with people that are not actually making you feel very good. And there's also other sections about, of course we have to talk about finance, how our finances are.
Yeah, really important. I think people can be a bit shy about that.
Yeah.
But do you know what? For me, the whole idea of finance is about having financial freedom.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
So and that is personal to everybody.
Yes.
So what gives you financial freedom? What figure, for example, gives you financial freedom? And that all depends on what you want to do in your life.
Yes.
So if you want to travel a lot, you will need perhaps to have more money than somebody who really doesn't want to travel.
Yeah.
And if you have a career goal which requires you to do some training, for example, so you need to allow for those things. So what does financial freedom mean to you? I think is a really important question.
Absolutely. And how are you going to get there?
Yes, exactly. Then you say, all right, so what do I need to do to achieve that?
That's right. And then break it down.
Yeah.
To, right to the bare bones of it.
Yeah. Very first step.
What do you need to actually do to make a difference to your finances? And to be, again, really, really, really honest with yourself.
Exactly.
So, I don't know about you, but the older I get, the less I want stuff. I just don't want any more
completely.
stuff.
Yes.
I've had enough of stuff. I've got too much stuff.
Yeah.
My house is full of knick-knackery. It's lovely, gorgeous, lovely sort of creative stuff. It all looks very pretty. Very chintzy and it's all very creative, but it's just stuff that collects dust.
Yes, I agree with you.
So I have brought that down. I've really kind of managed to spare it down and reduce it. My lovely husband is always saying, you have too much stuff. You're a hoarder. How dare he say that? A hoarder.
Oh, that's a dirty word.
Dirty word. I'm not a hoarder. I just like things.
Beautiful things.
I love gorgeous, beautiful things.
We should actually say that Claira's husband is a Chiltern Voice presenter.
He is indeed.
He does a fabulous show on Friday evenings from 8 till 10. So if you like a bit of upbeat, funky music on a Friday evening and you're not going to go out, then, tune into Chiltern Voice and listen to Ben, 8 till 10.
8 to 10, yeah. He's playing some good tunes and
does.
getting some great positive vibes. And he's very funny.
And you can send in requests.
You can send him requests, and he is very, very funny. But he also accused me of being a hoarder. Let's not forget that. But I have to say, sometimes when people suggest things to you, you know, we can get into defensive mode. But actually, he did have a point. So I did scale it right down.
Yeah.
I've scaled it right down, and I've noticed when people have popped round to our house, they go, Claire, it's looking much nicer here. It's looking much sort of, well, it's still looking very pretty, but it's not looking so dusty. So I think actually, yeah, okay, I'll take that on board. So as we get older, that's another thing that kind of reconnecting to what I'm talking about with setting goals and setting ideas of the future is sometimes that changes what we want and what we think. And I used to love buying things and making things. I make a lot of things as well. But actually, I'd rather have more space.
Oh, interesting.
And if I have more space, I feel less cluttered.
Yeah. Yes, and then more things can happen.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
when you clear your space,
Yes.
it actually allows things. It's the bizarrest thing, isn't it? It's that whole feng shui
Yes.
element that you clear your space, your physical space,
Yeah.
and it allows new energy to come in.
Absolutely. And I did do the Maria Kondo
Oh, did you?
thing of
Yeah.
getting your knicker drawer sorted out.
Yeah.
And I did do it. And it didn't bring me joy, but I could find my pants much more quicker. So that's good.
Yeah, the ones without the holes in.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I did the folding thing of my socks and pants. So
Do you still do that?
I still do it, yeah.
Ooh.
Because I have a very tidy knicker drawer. I
Well,
sound like I need to go out a bit more and have a bit of a life, really, don't I?
No, I think it's very important to have a tidy, to get your knickers tidy.
Get your knickers in order.
Yeah, yes. Far better than having them in a twist. Okay, let's play another song. Oh, do you know, we do need to get a bit Christmassy again, actually.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, so funky Christmas, I think.
Nice.
A bit of Boney M.
Oh, lovely. Love
Mary's
it.
Boy Child, bit religious, but
Marvellous.
with a bit of funk behind it. So, here we are, 15 minutes before the end of the show. Did that take forever, or did that go really quickly, Claira?
Oh, it's just, I loved every moment of it. It's been fabulous.
Well, me too. So I would like to invite you to come on as regularly as possible, actually.
Oh, thank you. I'd love to. Any opportunity to chat.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we should have a wee coffee and talk about that.
Okay.
Or maybe a glass of wine.
Love it.
So... how do people book on your workshop? Because
Okay.
we've said that it's on the 4th of January. We know that it's at Workaid.
Yeah.
What time is it?
It's on from 12 till 4 in the afternoon, so it's 4 hours. If you go to workaid.org, you can go on there and see all the details and much more information about not just my workshop, but they run lots of workshops. They run some fantastic art classes there. And if you want to get hold of me, and come on my workshop, and I have actually limited spaces, so the sooner you sign up the better. That'd be great.
Yeah, that's the key thing, because it's not like it's a massive space full of loads of people, but otherwise it wouldn't work, would it?
No, that's right.
You've got to limit it.
So I've got to limit the space, but then it's going to hopefully, well, I know it's going to sell out because I usually sell them out quite quickly. So I do recommend you crack on if you are going to come. So my email address, this is how you can contact me, is clairalemel@hotmail.com. And of course, I have got one of those names that I have to spell to everybody because it's got an I in the middle. So my name is CLAIRALEMEL @hotmail.com. So that's my email address. But if you just go to workaid.org, all the details are there. And let me know if you want to come along. And I always make sure that people have a lot of fun. It's very relaxed. And it's just I think once you find that Workaid has this amazing art space, you might want to do more classes there because it's just a really, really lovely little space. It's in Townsend Road in Chesham. So, if you let me know that you want to come, I can then personally kind of contact you and tell you the little bits and pieces that you need to bring with you, which is very little, because I provide all the arts materials, I provide everything. So you literally just have to turn up.
Loads of glue. You must have loads of glue.
I have loads of glue. It's literally everywhere. But I also have lots and lots of arts materials.
Yeah.
So you have even if you have to spend a lovely afternoon just cutting and sticking and just getting in touch with your creativity, all good.
Your inner gluing child.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you have... because I've got a lot of creative stuff. Do you have lots of different types of glue? Because I've got got Trim-It glue. I've got a glue gun.
Liking that.
Yes, that is very good.
But have you got any
actually.
glitter glue, Amy?
Oh yeah, have I got glitter glue? However, I'm going off glitter.
Yes,
it's the whole plastic thing.
Yeah, of course.
I made Christmas. I made Christmas crackers this week. Yes, with no plastic in at all. So my niece and I got together. We got a kit, but it's not non-shiny. It's all the craft paper. So it's all entirely recyclable.
Fantastic.
Apart from the chocolate, because you have to eat that.
Yep.
That gets recycled in its own way. Then we gave everybody. Oh no, I can't say, just in case they're listening.
Oops.
I'm not going to tell you. They're lovely. We had so much fun making them, and definitely going to do that again. I'm really glad we didn't do it for the 28 we're having on Boxing Day and just the 18. No, we're fewer actually, but we did 2 extra just in case. What's the time? Let me have a look. Do you know what? I'm going to chuck in. So we know how to contact you.
You know how to contact me. Can I say my email address again? Because I've got a
Please
funny
do.
name. It's Claira Lemel @hotmail.com. Claira is spelled Claira, and my surname is Lemel, Lem for mother, El, @hotmail.com. Or go to workaid.org and have a look at their website, because you can see all the other lovely workshops and classes they do there. It's a little gem of a place.
And what's your website?
Oh, my website is
Yeah.
scrapbookyourself.com.
Yeah, because I loved that. I had
Thank
to
you.
look. Yeah, I mean, because I love creative things. That was for me like reading a recipe book. I was drooling over your stuff. Oh, look at all that load of sparkly stuff, and yes,
Colourful things.
Absolutely love it. Yeah. And I did scrapbooking when I was a child. I remember cutting shoes out of my mother's magazines. God knows why. And they weren't pretty shoes either back in those days, I can assure you. Yes. And somewhere I've got those scrapbooks. And I had an Elvis Presley scrapbook.
Ooh.
Yeah, when Elvis Presley died. I had cuttings from Elvis Presley. Oh, royal scrapbooks, because my grandma was a royalist.
Okay.
So every time one of them got married, we had to do a scrapbook.
Lovely.
I don't know if I've still got those. But but I loved it. But it was the cutting out and sticking thing.
It's just
I don't know
so
what it is.
relaxing, and that's why I'm massively into scrapbooks. Well,
Yeah,
scrapbookyourself.com is a clue into how much I'm into
Absolutely.
scrapbooking. Really, really useful tool to have fun and to document things, and just to get
Yes.
back to cutting and sticking, because we love it.
Yeah, we do. So yeah, maybe if you're going on holiday, a special holiday, keep all your tickets and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm going to see if we can throw 2 songs in before we have to go. So do you remember this one, Flying Pickets?
I do, yes.
Only You. I listened to this the other day and I thought, it's so clever.
It's
Yeah,
good.
the original a cappella. I heard a cappella last night. Awesome.
Yeah.
They were all Christmas songs. But anyway, here we go.
Oh, lovely.
Only You by the Flying Pickets.
Fantastic.
I love that. Flying Pickets, Only You. Beautiful sound. It's so clever. Did you enjoy that, Ben Lamel? I'm not going to say why. So, that was Only You, the Flying Picket, beautiful sound. Now, just before we go, very quickly, we've only got a couple of minutes, we were talking about how vision boards can help you manifest things. So this is a little bit like the law of attraction. The law of attraction is where, the way I think about it is that you've got an angel up there, let's say, on a cloud, who's waiting for your instructions. And if you focus on the negative stuff, it'll say, oh, they want to attract this nasty thing. Never mind, that's what they've asked for. So you need to focus on the positive stuff. And then the angel will say, oh, they want that. Okay, there you go. Here we go. We'll start delivering it. It's also when you start focusing on things, the universe tends to draw things towards you that helps you to manifest them. I have spoken to people who've done vision boards and looked at them years later. I spoke to a friend not long ago who looked at her vision board, and she had created a vision board about the way she wanted to live. She hadn't looked at this for years. It was almost identical to her house, right down to the walnut tree in the garden, and she'd completely forgotten about it.
Wow.
So
That's
manifestation, happens quite quietly in the background. We've got to go. One more minute. So it's a bit like countdown to New Year, isn't it? So, Claire, I really hope that you'll come back in the
I'd love
new year.
to. Yeah, I'd love to.
And we can talk about some more wonderful stuff and have a lot of fun.
Yes, I'd
Play
love
some
to.
music.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you
so
for
much.
being here.
Thank you.
Don't forget to look up Claira's workshop on WorkAid's website or scrapbookyourself.com.
Scrapbookyourself.com.
Great. We're going to play my Dance Around the Kitchen tune. This is the song that Hang on. That I told Claira that I love to dance to this. She's no idea what I'm talking about. I know that she's going to know the song.
I'm sure I will.
Ridiculous title, but love the tune. This is DNCE, Cake by the Ocean. Happy Christmas, everybody.
Happy Christmas. Bye-bye.